Hi, thank you very much for tuning back into the Teal Jack channel. I'm Todd, and I greatly appreciate you coming to my channel and watching one of my videos today. What I've got for you is, in effect, today is discussing a ballot measure that was passed here in Portland around November of 2018. And I totally forgot about this, and I believe my wife did as well. But we discovered this bill the other day when she went out to buy some feminine products for one of our daughters or one of the females in the house. Don't know who it was for, but that was all she purchased. And in the receipt, she was charged a 1% tax on the sale of those feminine products. And it was listed under a clean initiative. And so I decided to look into what is this tax, because in the state of Oregon, we are supposed to be a sales-free tax state. And apparently the stupid voters here in Portland voted for this clean energy bill that they passed. And under this clean energy initiative, whatever they're referring to it as, they're taxing retail sales of certain products, and it looks like any product that is used by the consumer and cannot be reused. So everything seems to looks like gets taxed on, and it's only being applied to certain retailers. So it looks like the large ones. So Fred Meyer Corporation or Winco Foods, all of these, what I would consider a perishable good or a good that is used by only one consumer, gets this 1% tax applied to it. And that is utterly ridiculous, because that's in effect a sales tax. They want to call it a surcharge, but let's be upfront with it. It is a sales tax on the sales of goods here in the state of Oregon that is not supposed to happen. But I'm going to read you part of this measure, part of this bill under which this is written. And this really seems to be discriminatory in a way that it's focused only on one group of people for benefits to be applied. And that's not a benefit to our community. But let me read you this and what Portland has done to its citizens, and thus is driving me to move out of the city even quicker and out of the state, because the state's got this same ridiculous mindset. So here it is. Portland Clean Energy Community Benefits Fund was created by a local ballot measure, which was Measure 26-201, and is anticipated to bring in 54 to 71 million in new revenue for green jobs, healthier homes for all Portlanders. The ballot measure passed with 65% of the voters in support, making it Oregon's first ever environmental initiative created and led by communities of color. This is, I'm speechless that 65% of this city voted to be taxed on the sales of goods. In the face of climate change and federal inaction, the Portland Clean Energy Fund offers a community-led vision grounded in justice and equity that builds citywide resilience and opportunity. The initiative ensures that the City of Portland's climate action plan is implemented in a manner that supports social, economic, and environmental benefits for all Portlanders, including the development of a diverse and well-trained workforce and contractor pool in the field of clean energy. Federal inaction on climate change. So Portland's decided we're going to tax people on goods that cannot be renewed or that are consumable or that are used by only one person that can't be resold. So we're going to tax you on these goods. For the benefit of what? How is that going to affect climate change? Because people are still needing to consume those goods, like feminine sanitary supplies, clothing, Food items, I'm assuming not all food items. I did notice that drugs are not included in this, so they're not going to put this sales tax on our medications that we need, but we're going to tax you on other things. The climate change has a disproportionate impact on community of color and low-income residents. Where are they coming up with that? How is climate change affecting communities of color and low-income people? Now you're taxing these low-income people and these people of color who need to buy these goods to survive just like everybody else, whether you're wealthy or poor, whether you're white, black, Latino, it doesn't matter. Everybody's required to survive on these goods, and they're taxing you on it. So how is that going to benefit communities of color and low income? The fund prioritizes these communities living on the front lines of climate change with clean energy funding, job training programs, and green infrastructure projects. This will help ensure they are prepared for a climate change as we move toward our goal of an 80% reduction in carbon emissions and transitioning to 100% renewable energy in Portland. Number one, we will never become able to survive 100% on renewable energy. It is not possible. The expense alone is impossible to meet. Yeah, we can build all the electric cars we want in the world, but the electric cars are by themselves expensive. In the long run, in the figures I've seen, they are more expensive than buying a gasoline-powered car. And it looks like you'd be better off buying a gasoline energy-efficient car, one that gets a high gas mileage, I would say greater than 30%. You're better off buying one of those than buying an electric car, because the battery replacement expense alone is expensive. And rechargeable batteries by themselves, no matter how good they are, including all the ones I use in my electric helicopters, my RC planes, all of those batteries eventually degrade over time, and you don't get a full charge. And that's the same with these electric-powered vehicles. Number two, where are those electric-powered vehicles being plugged into? They're being plugged into energy sources that come from coal. Yeah, you can build all the solar panels everywhere and put them on all the rooftops in the city of Portland. You can put up wind fans all over the place, wind turbines. You can put in more dams for hydroelectric power. But we are never going to become fully removed from carbon energy sources. It's just not possible. We'll become a city and a state with rolling blackouts. And that, I believe, is what's going to take place, because we're so dependent upon carbon emissions. So how is putting this tax on the sales of goods going to actually benefit the community? Why? By providing job training to people of color and low income? Because that's where the focus seems to be. Yet those same people are being charged this tax every time they go to a store to buy these goods. So my question to you is this: how does that benefit these low-income people of color and everybody who has to pay this tax? It's not going to help out our energy needs. Maybe they apply these millions of dollars they're going to drum up in revenue to provide electric panels for our houses, these solar panels, but they're not going to do that. I guarantee you they're not going to spend that money to put a solar panel on the roof of my house so I consume less non-renewable energy. They're not going to do that. I guarantee you this tax isn't going to cover that. This is just utter insanity. But it boils down to one thing. We are supposed to be a state without a sales tax. The voters have voted that down multiple times since I've been able to vote when I turned 18. And now, because we can call it a surcharge, we can put it upon the sales of goods. But that surcharge, in effect, is a sales tax. And I wish I had the funds to sue the city of Portland over this bill, to sue the city of Portland over this surcharge, because it's not a surcharge. It is indeed a sales tax. But I don't have the funds to. This is just insanity. This global warming garbage is insanity. There's been no proof that what we do in living has increased the temperature of our planet, outside the fact that we do know the planet warms and cools on a regular cycle. And also keep in mind, those CO emissions do one thing. They benefit the plants in our environment. They grow bigger, they grow faster, and they grow larger fruits for us to consume. And that's what we need to keep focused on. These carbon emissions, in many ways, benefit the plants, under which we also need, that produce oxygen for us to breathe. And there's my bit. Call me a climate change denier. That might be the case. But until I actually see some actual proof and actual evidence that the slight temperature increases that we've had is not part of our normal warming and cooling cycle that the planet has gone through for centuries, thousands of years even, I'm not going to believe it. Because I keep seeing the one thing, that CO and carbon dioxide help to benefit our trees and our plants in our environment. And if you want to better our carbon emissions and to improve our planet through those carbon emissions, plant more trees that eat up that carbon and produce more oxygen. There's my bit. Tell me what you think. I am tweaked over this tax. I haven't paid attention to our sales receipts here of late, but I will from now on, just to see if I can keep track of how much money this city of Portland is sucking out of us in an illegal sales tax, because that's what it is. Tell me what you think. Leave your comments below. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day. Hey, thank you very much for tuning into the Teal Jack channel. It means so much to me. If you like my content, I just ask that you would hit like and subscribe. If you click on this link up here, it will send you right to my subscribe page. And please take a look at some of my other videos. I'll post them here down below here. And thanks once more for tuning in. I'm so appreciative of the people that spend time to watch my videos. Take care. God bless. Have a wonderful day.